When people think about the infidelity, they usually imagine the obvious signs: secrecy, distance, lies. But in real life, infidelity often shows up in counterintuitive ways. So today, I want to talk about 5 unexpected behavioral shifts that might occur when someone is emotionally or physically involved with someone else. And none of these signs prove infidelity on their own, but appearing together as a cluster, and if they are new to your relationship, definitely be a sign that things aren't right. The first sign is unexpectedly elevated happiness. And this is one of the most surprising signs that people report. My partner seems suddenly happier, lighter, more energized, and I don't know why. At first, obviously, feels positive, and you might think, wow, things are improving or things are great at home. But psychologically, sudden mood elevation can sometimes come from an external source, from new emotional stimulation outside of the relationship. New attraction releases dopamine. Dopamine elevates mood, and that elevated mood, it can spill over onto everyday interactions, including with you. Another possibility, another explanation to this sign is relief, because if someone feels that they're getting emotional validation elsewhere, inner tension can temporarily drop. This particular sign becomes meaningful when the happiness doesn't come from shared experiences or isn't paired with deeper emotional presence, and it appears with other subtle changes. Sign number 2 is they stop using your name and switch to more generic nicknames. This one is subtle and at the same time very specific. Some people notice that their partner stops using their name and start using these more generic names like honey, baby, sweetheart. And this isn't about increased affection. This has to do with when a person is interacting closely or romantically with more than one person. Generic nicknames reduce the risk of mixing up these different partners' names. It creates kind of a cognitive shortcut because one word works for everyone. And this obviously doesn't mean that every nickname is suspicious, but a sudden shift away from your norm, from your usual names, can be a quiet behavioral adaptation to this new situation of two partners, not increased intimacy. Another unexpected sign is when a partner becomes more attentive, more generous, more kind, but something about it feels off. They may give more compliments, be unusually agreeable, offer affection, but without emotional depth. This is something that might happen when someone is feeling guilt. Guilt doesn't always make people withdraw. Sometimes it makes them compensate. The key distinction here is, does the kindness create closeness, or does it feel like a surface placed on top of distance? So when kindness increases but emotional intimacy doesn't, that mismatch is often what people feel, even when they can't articulate it. Sign number 4 is emotional presence drops, even if communication continues. So this is not about silence, it's about quality. Your partner, he or she might still text, check in, talk, but conversations become shallower. But what you notice is less curiosity about your inner world, fewer follow-up questions, emotional topics get redirected or minimized, and shared reflection disappears. This is what might happen when emotional energy is invested elsewhere, because people only have so much bandwidth. So when attention is diverted, presence thins. And this sign is especially important because this is more often felt before anything is consciously acknowledged. Sign number 5, they become more careful with language, with details. And this, it's not the same as secrecy. What people often notice here is more vague answers, fewer concrete, specific details, careful phrasing, stories that might lack texture. This happens because maintaining parallel emotional narratives require mental effort. It's a costly way of living. So when someone is tracking multiple relational realities, they unconsciously simplify language to avoid contradictions. And it's not about hiding phones or things like that. It's about cognitive load. And the person sounds less grounded, not because they're lying overtly, but because they are managing more than one emotional storyline. So to summarize, none of these signs do on their own prove infidelity. They don't mean that your partner is cheating, but do know that patterns matter more than individual behaviors. So do more than one of these signs, behavioral shifts, occur together with another? So one sign equals most likely nothing, but several new unexpected behavioral shifts, when they cluster together, that is very possibly information to pay attention to. And your nervous system, your senses, they register everything. And if your gut feeling tells you that something's off, that's very likely telling you something. And what people often feel, it's not certainty. That's not the first thing, rather unease. We just feel uneasy about something, about the situation. And the aim of this video is about helping you understand that something might feel off long before you get certain information about it truly is off. And nothing obvious might be happening, but you're just sensing the shift, the change, and infidelity, especially emotional infidelity, which often, by the way, leads to the physical infidelity. It often begins as a shift in attention. And I hope that this video has given you some insights. And if you liked it, I'd be happy for you to subscribe. Thank you for watching.